Right, thank you, Mr. Kamara. Right, first I would like to welcome the audience and panelists in Roundtable 2 discussion. And in this roundtable discussion, we are going to discuss the future of banana industry, the fate of the local banana cultivars, and the incorporation of what do you call that? Incorporation and acceptance of new technologies to help leapfrog the agriculture sector in the country, in Malaysia. And we hope from this discussion, we can inspire researchers, banana growers, government agency, industry players to collaborate. I guess the word collaborate seem to be the buzzword for this conference, for this meeting. Right, so before I start the discussion, I would like to briefly introduce the panelists, and the panelists could actually add on if I'm not doing justice to your introduction, right? So we have Mr.ChristopherJohnBiai, and he is from the Department of Agriculture. He is the Deputy Director, Crops and Fruit Section, which involves planning and monitoring and development of long-term and short-term fruit. So apparently he has been with DOA for about 25 years. Yeah, right, okay. And he's a graduate of UPM and moved on to North Carolina University for his master's degree. Number 2 is Razwan, Zakaria, from Aerodyne, and Razwan has been 15 years in management and technical development projects. He's responsible for the operation of Aerodyne in Australia and manages stakeholders in international, to name a few, US, Latin America, Middle East, and so on. And now is the Chief Product Officer for Agrimore to develop agriculture solutions for UAV precision technology, mechanization, and IoT systems. So this is kind of a different background from the rest of most people in the audience who are by agriculturists. Yeah. And number 3, we have Mr. Wayne from Simple Farm, a graduate from Tunku Abdul Rahman University College. He joined his father's business, Simple Farm, in the vision of making the business more digitalized and modern business, and currently manages the nursery management to control the product quality and also starting the digital marketing. And panel number 4, Encik Muhammad Amir Hashim, head of integrated high value, from FGV. He's the head of integrated high value cash crop, and started off as a graduate from system engineering, Cardiff, and joined as a scholar of FGV, joined the IT division, then became a special officer to the group CEO, and now leading the integrated high value cash crop division, which is a unit of FGV integrated farming. And the focus is on development of upstream, downstream, and middle stream activities. Yeah, right. So we'll start off with a presentation from the panelists, if you wish, about your company or about yourself. We'll start with, in the order of Mr. Christopher, then Encik Razwan, then Mr. Wayne Tam, then Mr. Muhammad Amir Hashim. I shall now invite Mr. ChristopherJohnBiai first to start off the session.
Thank you, Prof. Lani, and a very good afternoon to everyone. So before I start my presentation, on behalf of the Department of Agriculture, we are honored to be invited to this roundtable session. I'm honored, and in our section and our division, and particularly the Department of Agriculture, we are honored. And I've been joining this Congress since yesterday, and it is an eye opener for us, especially in the Department of Agriculture, because we have not been get in touch with all the research in bananas. We also have working group with Mardi, but it's not as extensive as what we have for this past few days. So let me share my presentation. So, sorry. Okay, so okay, let me start with the global food production. As you can see, banana is one of the most highest produced crops in the world, about 116 or nearly 117 million metric ton. This is for the year 2019. Okay, and yes, with regards to our gross domestic products, agriculture sector contributes about 7.13 or 7.13% out of 1,421 billion. So with the value of about 101.5 billion ringgit, is almost similar to mining and quarrying. Meanwhile, services is the highest and followed by manufacturing. So in agriculture sector, we have 6 subsector altogether: rubber, oil palm, forestry, livestock, and fisheries. So out of that is the other agriculture, meaning to say is fruits and vegetable, contribute about almost 26% of the agriculture sector, which has the value of about 26.28 billion. So out of the other agriculture, okay, fruits is ranked number 3 with about 18.2%. With number 1 is the vegetables, and followed by food crops. Okay, so this is the main production of 5 major fruit crops for 2019. As you can see, durian produce about almost 7.5 billion ringgit, contributes to about 24% of the food production, followed by banana, second, almost 580 million, with a volume of about 335,000 metric ton. Okay, and as you can see, since the 1980s, the acreage of banana cultivated area in Malaysia is about 20 and to 30. That is the average acreage planted. Since banana is a short-term crops, and after 3 years, maybe they change to some other crops. They might rotate with some other crops and plant back banana to just to cut the pest and disease cycles on the area. Okay, and in terms of acreage, banana is second most cultivated fruit in Malaysia, with the acreage of about 26,000 hectares in 2019, and it is about 14% of the total planted area of fruit crops in Malaysia. Okay, the major producing banana producing state in Malaysia is Johor. We have about 115,000 metric ton, followed by Pahang, and followed by Sabah. That is producing, but in terms of acreage, the largest banana growing state is Johor, followed by Sabah, and followed by Sarawak. As you can see, Sarawak has the lowest. I mean, the productivity is not as good or as high as the other states. Okay, yeah. I mean, if we can see, in 2016, fruit crops productivity it's about 11.9. It dropped a bit, 11.85, and it dropped quite so much in 2018 and increased back into 2019 to 11.9. Meanwhile, banana in 2018, the average productivity is about 13.7 and has been increasing to 15.1 metric ton in 2019. Yeah, this is the more interesting part. Okay, so banana per capita consumption in 2020 is about 9 kilograms per year. It's second after durian. I mean, as we know, durian is the most consumed fruit in Malaysia, especially during the durian season, and followed by banana. Okay. In terms of the self-sufficiency ratio, meaning our production meets the domestic demand. So banana has exactly about 100%. So our local production can cater for the domestic demand. But that being said, we still import about almost 9% of banana consumption in Malaysia. So our import dependency ratio is about almost 9%. And okay, so in 2019, I mean, we export our banana mostly to Singapore and Brunei, and also to Maldives, with a total volume of about 24,000 metric ton, almost about 31 million. And also, besides exporting, we also importing banana also from, especially from the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and also from India, amounting to about 28,000 metric ton. So we are importing about, now we are exporting about 24, and we're importing about 28. So the difference of about 4,000 metric ton. And finally, in the Department of Agriculture, we are having this short-term foods project. So this project will be focusing on the development of short-term foods, including banana, papaya, and watermelon. However, other potential short-term crops also can be recommended. And the Department of Agriculture for the next 5 years will be developing about 1,300 hectares of short-term crops that will be benefiting about 400 entrepreneurs within a period of 5 years. So during the 11 Malaysia plan, we have developed about 2,200 farmers with about 1,300.
Mr. Christopher, you shortened your presentation? Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're done. Okay, right. Thank you.
I'm done. Thank you. Back to you, Prof. Lani. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now over to Mr. Razwan.
Hey, Assalamualaikum, and very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. Not sure whether I have my screen. I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see? Okay.
Yep. Can see your screen? Yes.
Yep. All right. Good. Okay. So, all right. So, first of all, thank you very much, Prof. Lani, and I would like to also say thank you on behalf of Aerodyne to the organizing committee for extending the invite to Aerodyne to be part of this Congress. I think this is the first time that we are participating in the Congress, and we are so excited and also happy to be sharing some of our work that currently that we are doing. I guess in our case, probably we are the new kids on the block. We are just started our agriculture operations back in October last year. So we've been doing a lot of activities in plantation. Currently, we are mainly focused on palm oil, paddy, and also durian. We are not yet in banana. So, this forum or this congress is actually an opportunity for Aerodyne to introduce ourselves introduce ourselves to the place, and hopefully we be having continuous engagement and continuous and opportunities also in the plantation operations of banana. So I guess Aerodyne is coming in from the drone technology standpoint on the large-scale operations that currently we are doing for some of our clients. So Agrimo, we focus on large-scale operations because we understand the requirement of the industry. We understand the very tight compliance schedule that big plantation companies requires in managing their crops. Yeah. So let's say, for example, in palm oil, there's a very tight 14 days window that we need to go in and make sure that every single tree is accounted for during management of the plantation. Yeah. So we focus on large scale operations. And right now we are doing a lot of activities in precision agriculture or precision spraying. But apart from doing UAV precision agriculture, we look at also IoT technologies and mechanization. Right? So what we provide for our client is definitely the immediate value, right? So our client or the plantation companies doesn't have to worry about acquiring big capital on spending on drones, the big spending on drones and big spending on pilots, because Aerodyne is there to provide these services. And we can do also the immediate deployment. We can deploy, almost immediately to make sure that we are able to cater in terms of the operation requirements of the plantation companies. Again, it's zero capex, so companies doesn't have to invest in big expenditures, getting the drones, getting the vehicle, hiring pilots and all that. And we look at it like Mr. Christopher just now mentioned. So the industry is big. We are, as a country, we are producing about 101.5 billion contribution to GDP from agriculture, right? So there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of space that Aerodyne can be part of. And then we are actually number 2 in the world in terms of palm oil. And the number of workers that we have to support plantation operations in Malaysia is many. We have 750,000 total workers in agriculture sector. But of course, unfortunately, 78% is foreign workers. So and then with the pandemic that currently ongoing, so these foreign workers are unable to enter Malaysia. So this also create a vacuum. This also provide this opportunity for Aerodyne to serve this market and actually push our agriculture from using the normal labor-intensive type of industry to a more sophisticated, more complex industry that uses technology, right? Because of this situational, it's actually provide issue for the country as well. So we are missing out on 3.5 billion annually in terms of capital outflow, because foreign workers basically naturally they will repatriate their income back to their home country. So we are a bit on the losing out based on that. And of course, the innovation R&D, we could do better, right? So as a country, still some limited amount. So we are pushing this needle, we are pushing this clock in terms of moving, hopefully the country to use more of this sophistication of technologies and all that. So while doing that, we hope to create more sustainable future for local, for our people here. We want to create job opportunities that uses local workforce, with an average income of more than 3,000 per month. This is very, is Aerodyne's aspiration, to create this kind of job opportunities for our people here. we want to also change the mindset, from 3D, what they have been saying, doing agriculture work, there's a lot of 3D, it's a 3D job, dirty, dangerous, and demeaning. So we want to change this 3D into 3A, 3D to 3A, so it's to become, the job becomes more appealing, when you use drones, when you use technology, so it becomes more appealing to younger generation. And it's adventurous, our pilots, our UAV pilots right now, they are using 4x4, go into the plantation area, so it's very adventurous for them. They see the morning sky, so it's very fulfilling to those that likes that adventurous lifestyle. And lastly, but more importantly, it's an admirable job right now. So they are very proud, they are very happy right now. They are UAV pilots, so this then bring value to their career mobility as well. So our current employment rate is about 778,000 people, So so that is how Aerodyne actually assists or create interest in younger generation, because we use a lot of technology, we use drones, we use robotics, mechanization, and IoT. We've been doing this. We've been, since we are doing this, we are hiring right now. Our total man count for agriculture operations is about 100 new UAV pilots since 3 months ago. So we've been heavily hiring. So we've been doing a lot of work in this, and we've been getting a lot of interest to do this as well. Just going back to the number count that we are doing.
That's why you have to wrap up in 1 minute.
1 minute. So,
yes,
so we're about 2.7 million already. Tree count. We've been doing a lot of the 23,000 hectareage. And most of these are paddy fields, durian farms, and we have about 102 UAV pilots at the moment. So things are moving. Things are very exciting at the moment. So we hope to enter banana plantation. So I think in retrospect, so we want, it's available out there. So we want to engage more of the industry plantation companies during this session as well. All right.
Thank you very much. So we will move on to, I think indeed innovation and the age group we were talking about. I think a lot of the Congress was talking about the age groups that's doing agriculture more than 50 years old. So now probably this will be a new breather for the agriculture sector. Yeah. So anyway, we want to invite now our next panelist, Mr. Wayne Tam.
Yeah. Yes.
You want to show any video, Mr. Wayne?
I will provide the presentation first and then go through the video.
Like it's close, like
can you see the share screen? Yeah. Okay, I introduce myself. I went down for Silver Farms in Berhad.
Okay.
I'm 3 years experience in this industry, and I'm quite a newbie at the agriculture industry. Yeah. So I will maybe introduce our business structure. This is our life for banana. You can see our group is mainly doing from one-stop banana, which is from tissue culture until to the housing and then to the market. This is our sustainability to do all the time. Right? And then we mainly focus to the tissue culture, and then we go into the step by step. Every step we will be go carrying, and we will work out with the contract farmer together. Okay. You can see we got our lab at the JB, the provide tissue culture, and we got cultivate ourselves the plant lab. And then the nursery is located at the Johor Farm. Yeah, it is my hometown. Okay, before we planting banana, we will be getting the good, healthy tissue culture. And then we receive this for our contract farmer, and they will do the process of the plantation, the cultivation, from start land cleaning, and then building the packaging press. This is for common dish. Common dish is need the packaging press. If you're planting barangan, is no need. Okay, irrigation also is important. And then we're doing electric fence for the animal coming to eat our crop. This is some damages to the farmer. Okay, so we can see planting seeding. Okay, first I invest the drone. We currently using the drone to do the pesticide disease control. This is the original one. They're using this flower. And then we currently got using drone, which is Mr. Razwan can recommend us some problem we already faced. Okay, this is some procedure for the cultivation. This is the banana on this lah. Okay, so we are see we are doing our thing in the farm. So we need the packaging house. This is the cost for the smallholder in the small field lah. Okay, and then the colonists can do ripening. We can control the ripening time in the correct cold storage. Okay, and this is our product. Okay, so I will share the screen of the video. Wait, so I introduce our company and so on.
The survey we have done in KL shows that we love Malaysia's banana more than those from overseas. Let's find out what makes banana from Malaysia so special. Starting from tissue culture preparation, we take every step to ensure the quality of our products. Compost contains countless beneficial microorganisms that help restore soil nutrients and encourage plants growing. Our homemade compost makes sure our plants grow very well. After the tissue culture transplanting, we make sure the banana trees grow in good form. And many more. Every morning, we deliver the fresh bananas to you across the nation. Takes only 88 hours from harvesting to your doorstep. It proves how fresh our products are. Mr. Banana, Miss Freshness, you have our word.
All right.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wayne. We shall
Okay.
invite Mr. Muhammad Amir Hashim. Do you have any presentation from FGV? Do you have
Okay, thank
any?
you. I'm not using slide,
Okay.
but okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Prof. Yani, for the introductions. I think before I go further with some briefing and sharing with everyone here, I would like the Zakaria to share our FGV presentation.
Opportunity is a beautiful thing. Like a window with many doors, it opens our minds to a world of big ideas. Ideas that we then shape to meet the needs of man. With it, we are now one of the nation's plantation giants. With it, we're now seeding sustainable industries and economies in over 10 countries across Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and North America. Equipped with 60 years of experience and expertise in palm oil. A leader in refined sugar production. Providing cutting-edge technologies from our R&D and agri-services. Integrated supply chain of transport and logistics. With it, we're adding value to our every endeavor, every innovation. With it, we're growing greener day by day by generating power from waste, by managing our plantations with the help of Mother Nature. We will continue to grow, change lives for the better, serve mankind for generations to come. We love opportunity. It refines our focus, keeps our sense of purpose keen. Indeed, indeed, it's a beautiful thing.
I think everyone could agree that FGV Malaysia is blessed with very good soil and tropical conditions that give us very high potential to do the cash crop plantations. Despite that, we know that some of our soil probably need to be treated due to heavily usage of plantation of oil palm plantation as rubber plantation generations after generations. But this treatment can be done. Our agronomists can give advice so that we can improve our soil conditions. In terms of the value productions, the potential that we have in the banana industry specifically, in comparison to durian, probably it's quite hardly to compare because durian value of production is about 7.5 billion ringgit Malaysia, and Cavendish banana is about 0.6 billion ringgit Malaysia. It is mainly because of several factors, because the S-farm gate of durian, Musangking especially, is about 40 to 45 ringgit per kilo, while Cavendish banana or any other local variety of banana is about 2 ringgit and below. So, however, if we want to benchmark ourselves, probably Malaysia should benchmark ourselves in our ratio or percentage of participation in the global demand, whether how much percentage that Malaysia can export globally. Because comparison to durian, even though it is the highest volume, highest consumed in Malaysia in terms of per capita, but globally, banana is much higher compared to durian because durian is heavily dependent to mostly Chinese communities all around the world, especially in China, Western and also America. But banana is heavily consumed by most of the people, and we are hardly to find any people that do not consume any banana at their home. So actually, in terms of potentials, the global demand is very huge, about 40 billion ringgit Malaysia, 40 billion US dollar of the market value of banana all around the world, compared to about 18 or 17 billion of durian globally. So the question is whether how we can improve our participation in export industry, either using our local hybrid of Cavendish banana, or is there any way that we can promote or market our local variety accordingly? Despite, and again, everyone could agree that we are blessed with very good soil and as well as tropical conditions. Despite that, fusarium or soil root disease are commonly known in the banana plantation. Actually, we also can leverage in terms of oil palm plantation that we have. We can do intercropping, because let's say if we do intercropping, let's say we say 5% from 5.8 million hectares of oil palm plantation in Malaysia. 5% we do for replanting. So it's nearly about 300,000 hectares of potential intercropping area. FGV has embarked into upstream, midstream, and downstream for Cavendish banana. For the upstream, we have started intercropping with oil palm about 135 hectare planted area. Cavendish banana is about 37, Berangan 38 hectares, and Nipa is about 60 hectares where we plant intercropping in Felda Sahabat. A new area that we will plant about 120 hectares, 40 hectares Cavendish banana, and 80 hectares Berangan. We just embark ourselves in the upstream while we do trading. What's more important that we could help to see the collaboration with the technology partners like Aerodyne. We would like to support our farmers doing the contract farmers, supporting their good agriculture practices, and we can secure the offtake from our contract farmers. So to conclude, I think the potential is very huge for Malaysia to increase the value of production of banana in Malaysia. Despite it's probably hard to compare with Musang King where it has very high as farm price, gate price. But what we can do is to increase our value of production. Number one is increase our banana estate production by leveraging intercropping. Our agronomists could explore further and suggest the best practices for intercropping banana and oil palm estate because we have very huge intercropping potential area. And number two, we should monitor our capability and enhance our capability to participate in exports. To do that, we should improve our post-handling mechanism and SOP throughout the supply chain from farm to the supply chain cold room until the market and the fork, farm to the fork, especially for the local Cavendish banana habit. If we really want to, I believe if we really want to market our other local variety like our Nipah Abu, the same name of Nipah, Pisang Emas, and any other variety, probably we could really put our effort into downstream product because we are not really don't have to worry about the post handling very much for this downstream product. If we turning it from raw banana into downstream products such as freeze dried, dehydrated, granular, drinking, and etc., where actually has a huge global demand in the diets, in the global diet as well. That's all from me, from FGV. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, I think looking at I think what Simple Farm had just now, he showed about, I think the Simple Farm grows mostly Cavendish. Cavendish seems to be the popular or the banana, so it's quite worrying in the sense that for me it's worrying because in the supermarket it's flooded. It's what you can find most is Cavendish bananas, and that's not our banana. But I suppose it is popular because of its good keeping quality, yeah. And I'm worried that the new generation who goes to the supermarket are not exposed to other bananas, and they adapt themselves to Cavendish, and they don't know how to consume Pisang Emas or Pisang Lestari and so on. So I would like to ask Mr. Christopher, what is the role of DOA, yeah, to ensure that the popularity and the economic importance of our local banana, yeah, to be at par with Cavendish? Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Lani. Basically, in the Department of Agriculture, we have registered. I will talk about the variety first. So we have 27 registered varieties in the Department of Agriculture. So basically, if there's any other agencies or any other varieties that is there out there, we encourage them to register with us. So at least we have a full list of registered varieties of banana collections for the country. And since as we can see also, Berangan is also susceptible to PR4, and it is quite worrying. And from the departmental side, from the departmental view, research institutions such as MADI and EM should play a role to develop, because we've discussed this few days, to develop new resistant varieties to replace or to be in place for us to extend to our farmers to grow. And it would be a new improved varieties in terms of resistance and in terms of taste, might be, and in terms of market value and so on. So at least if we have that variety, we might can create another. We can advise the farmers to go into banana. And then for the time being, the Department of Agriculture, we are focusing on developing berangan to our farmers. And for your information, in the 11 Malaysia plan, we develop about 2,115 hectares of area with basically mixed varieties, berangan, tanduk, and pisang mas. That is the most common varieties planted by the farmers registered with Department of Agriculture. And also through our extension program, the DOA is facilitating the farmers to adopt MyGap, as been said previously. So with the MyGap practice, these farmers can actually export the banana to other countries outside Malaysia. And with MyGap also, we can be sure that the banana they produce will be safe for consumption, and it is acceptable for export market. And also, we in the Department of Agriculture, we are promoting private sector to be involved. Simple Farm is one of our they are one of our projects in our EPP 7. So they just completed the project. I think it was about in 2019, right, Mr. Tam? Yeah. So we provide incentive for those who are interested to go into banana industry. But for the time being, in 11 and 12 Malaysia plan, we are focusing on the smallholders, because in Malaysia, it is estimated to be about 90% are smallholders, and the rest is like Simple Farm, Exotic Star, and there's one big farm in Sarawak, SV Agriculture. They have about 400 hectares of Cavendish banana in Sarawak. So, and the other thing is that what we are facing is that scarcity of land, because for the past 10 years, we know that oil palm is the what they call source of wealth, I can say, for the past 10 years. But now, since the price has fluctuated, so it might be good also those like FGVs as mentioned by Amir just now. If this government link agencies, companies can set aside a few percent of their land for fruit crops, especially banana or short-term crops. That would be very, very helpful for us to maintain and sustain our food supply in Malaysia. Yeah, basically that. Okay. Back to you, Prof. Lani.
Right. I think because fruits, well, generally fruits is also the hype, like in media, what's good and what's not good. So, like I think local banana, there's not very little hype on that. There's little documents, and farmers will grow what's profitable. So in terms of bunch weight, if it's if pisang mas is only 12 kilo and pisang berangan is 25 kilo, and the same effort, whether you get to cost of production, so surely people will plant pisang berangan and Cavendish as well. So the worrying part is that, well, I guess as growers, you will think of profit, and of course, and somewhere along the line, somebody must think of to make sure the diversified cultivars. Like we have 100 cultivars, and some are like perishing, not seen, and I'm kind of worried. I hope somebody somewhere will take care of that, and or else our future generations will only know pisang berangan, pisang and Cavendish. So something to think about. Anyway, back to Mr. Wayne.
Yes.
I think in Malaysia we lack, I think, in terms of agriculture. We need champions. We need unicorns. Like unicorns, so that then people can emulate. To be an example, and then and maybe then the younger generation will be interested to be agriculture. So Mr. Wayne is a young guy, and we hope more of Mr. Wayne will appear. And if we don't have unicorns, then there's no hero. When there's no hero, then there'll be no followers or less followers. So do you think Simple Farm? Because I think if a unicorn is a game changer in the agriculture sector, and do you think Simple Farm wants to expand into to become a unicorn? And what kind of support do you think you need, to expand, become unicorn? Because I think recently Custom is one of our Malaysian unicorn, yeah. And Custom actually mentioned government support as one of the factors that lead to their success. There were 7 factors, and one of it was government. So, can I have your views on that, Mr. Win?
Sure. Thank you, Professor Lani. Okay, so we were seeking more contract farmer to enhance our production. We need the stability for the current days. So we will sit with more contract farmer because our land is quite limited. So for the TR4 disease, we normally use at the land over 3 years only. Then we need to find another place to plant. This is our problem, the main problem, because of the disease. So I think we need to find contract farmer more and more, and then we can use the land. This is Mr. Christopher can support. We also using them to help us to we can help the smallholder to plant the foundation, and also as well the berangan. And then we are planning to do the downstream about the banana downstream business. This is can overcome when the banana is over the market, we can absorb the over done. This is the smallholder cannot lose like that. And then for the quality ensuring, we need the contract farmer to follow the SOP. This is our farming. To do anything by SOP, we already symbolize the foundation process. Then the smallholder, even the newbie, can follow the instruction to start this is banana is the cash crop for us. For the 3-year project, we can harvesting 2 to 3 times. For berangan is 2 times. This can over 3 times. This is our maximum. And then after 2nd and 3rd, will be face some TR4 problem. This is our challenging challenge. This is our challenge. So in the labor problem, I suggest if Mr. Razwan, the drone can be used on the banana. We already tried it already. We already purchased one P10B, the DJI, and we already applied in our field. So we still in research how the doses about the pesticide, how to use. After in this, I think can cooperate with them about how to do the disease P&B control. I think this is Thank you.
Right, thank you. So according to EPU report 2017, agriculture is one of the laggard. It's like a laggard in terms of innovation and knowledge acquisition. That means kind of the transfer of knowledge and innovation is almost, I don't know, nil or very, very poor. And I think and Malaysia is moving towards high-tech nation. So that technology is crucial. Yeah. So I would like to ask Mr. Razwan. Yeah. So do you think technologies like IR 4.0, yeah, can leapfrog this agriculture industry? The trouble is sometimes what happens is in a certain farm, if they're used to a certain technology, they're used to manually harvest something, and if you say now, okay, let's use, I don't know, some automation, laser cut bananas. I'm just being an example. It's kind of not easy for people to switch. Yeah, but maybe from your experience, maybe because when it's when they have to, like pandemic, they have no choice. People do it, or can I have your views on that? So my question is the use of technologies to leapfrog the agriculture sector, one, and to do that, should we start with new farms, new sectors, or can we introduce this new technology to the old players? Over to you.
Thank you, Prof. Lani, for the question. Yes, I think it's a question of when, right? And I think in so many ways, we need to push for it to be sooner rather than later, right? So in our operations right now, in many of our sites, we are solving that issues of foreign worker, as you mentioned just now, right? Because there's that push for technology now, and I think FGB also can concur that right now there's a huge gap in terms of manpower in the industry, right? So this one, I mean, I think in some ways, I think Malaysia as a country also, we have been quite complacent in the past in terms of really pushing technology for agriculture, right? Because I think access to labor was made easy before, right? So right now, because of the pandemic, because of the current situation that we are in right now, so hence there's vacuum, there's a dire requirements now for worker and all that. So that one is just when you look at the foreign worker or the workers aspect. There are so many ways, there are so many opportunities for technology at the moment, for agriculture industry to start picking up. And I think in some ways, I think I concur with your statement just now, about having that champion, who can really push, who can be the big brother inside this banana industry. So I think this is where Agrimo, Aerodyne as a company, we're spinning off Agrimo, as an currently it's still a division, but hopefully it will move into its own entity. But the Agrimo's aspiration is big. Right? We want to carry agriculture produce. We want to look at like becoming the technology go-to, in terms of doing crops or plantation activities, and banana being one of them in the future. I think we've got a good base. I think Prof. Lani, in so many ways, I think the industry owes its status right now because of you, because you're spearheading a lot of scientific research and all this in banana. So I think the government need to push for technology, funding, fundamental research, keep on doing that, for companies like Aerodyne, like Simple Farm to go and pick up all this process and make sure that our operation later on will be something great beneficial to the country. So as it is right now, there's so many technologies already. We have like hyperspectral, multispectral spraying technologies that could assist or could improve the efficiency of the farm. So in terms of technology landing, it's there. It's just a matter of really integrate all this function, and then be really pushing the banana agenda forward for Malaysia.
I think if you look at the report on 1010 My STI, the government is pushing for convergence of technology. So it's not going to be just agriculture. No, it's going to be agriculture plus this plus that. Even I think in research, that's going to be the way to go. And 10 MyCI is already diluluskan oleh the government has actually. I have one. I'll read this question from Pat here. Pat says, maybe I think it's relevant to Mr. Christopher. The panel can actually look at chats, and if you can, you try and answer. I'll try, this question from Pat, it seemed to me that the biggest issue in Malaysia is the yield gap. Why is the production per hectare so low compared to what can be achieved? Bunch weight, etc., not so important given appropriate plant density or time to maturity, etc. Who can address? Can Mr. Christopher help with that?
Yeah, basically, Dr. Pat. So the data that we are getting most of the data from our agris data that is collected by our staff in the ground. So that is the production average from, I think it should be a compendium of different varieties that they're totally up together. It's not totally Brangan, it's not totally Cavendish. So it's a mix of Awa, it's a mix of Abu, it's a mix of Nipa. And I mean, it might be what we call a mix of these varieties together. So, and then maybe some of the farmers, they might have not been practicing a good agriculture practice, and it might make the yield can drop, especially in Sarawak, because the yield is very low compared to the acreage that they are planting. Yeah. And yeah, but by the way, we basically those cooking varieties, they're using suckers to plant. They are not using tissue cultures because the demand is not that high, so it's not good. I mean, it's not viable to produce it in tissue cultures. So these farmers, they are getting suckers from each of the other farmers also, and if the suckers is infected, and then they will be planting infected suckers all the way until it might not produce any yield at all. I mean, if they're using that. So the Department of Agriculture, we are encouraging farmers to use tissue cultures and suckers that is certified by our plant quality division. Our quality control division. So this might safeguard the farmers from the start, from the start of the planting of the banana. Yeah, back to you, Prof. Lani.
Right. Okay, right. So I think since we have, I'll think about like maybe a few more minutes, 2 minutes each maybe to conclude this session. If you have time, the panelists, please look at the chat. So whatever is appropriate, can you help to answer that as well? Okay, to end the session, banana is often known as the poor man's crop. Yeah, no matter it has been here a long time. There's been a lot of research. I'm not sure whether the research actually trickled down to the industry or not. What do you think? Okay, do you agree with that? Do you agree that banana is a poor man's crop? And as you answer that, can you just give your concluding or your message to the audience before we end this session? So I start with following the same order. We start with Mama Amir first.
Okay, basically, that's a very general statement by everyone. Probably that's the same question that FGV Board question my team when we present to start the cultivation of paddy, because people generalize that paddy is for the poor, the cash crop for the poor. Actually, it's not. If you compare to the oil palm commodity, the value per hectare is much different, higher, better than compared to oil palm or rubber. It's not about the crop, but the economic skills. And what is missing in the industry is the unicorn, one of the anchor company that can support the contract farmer, control the supply chains, and make sure the quality from the farm is okay until the warehouse, until the modern trade and the lower trade, because there should be an anchor company that should really understand the market demand and market application at the modern trade, export as well as lower trade. That's all.
Right, thanks. Mr. Christopher, do you want to say something about that, or do you want to respond that banana is a poor man's crop? Do you agree with that, Mr. Christopher?
Oh, okay. Sorry. So basically, maybe 20 or 30 years back, yes, banana could be a poor man's crop. But since since after the government or the ministry has developed this national agro food policy, number 1, number 2. So we have been taking care of our farmers, and we have been giving incentive for our farmers to go into agriculture sectors, especially short-term crops, because this can give the government, give the farmers a quick income. And by the way, I just want everyone to ponder. I mean, if this TR4 is to be, to become widespread, so one day we might, we might be looking for bananas on our table, but we could not find it. So it could be maybe one day it could be a golden, I can say it's golden crop. So and with that being said, maybe those research, those who are doing research for resistant varieties and good, better varieties than Cavendish and Berangan should be, should be helping us to get good varieties. But yeah, basically, I do not agree. Banana is a poor man's crop now. You see, simple farm also can make money. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Besides,
2 minutes, Mr. Wayne. Right. Okay. Is banana a poor man's crop, Mr. Wayne? 2 minutes.
I think it's not really, because it will depend the species. For the Cavendish, it's not the poor man crop. For the Berangan, you also know the poor man crop depend on the market. The market overall will be make the price reduce or uprise. So this is very kind of the banana in Malaysia. So if we do the business model for those banana, maybe they can be the valuable crop also. Because the Cavendish is come from the overseas country, they got their business model to do this, but our country only got the Berangan. This is a good opportunity to see the valuable crop. Just overcome the ripening process. If you can control the ripening process, you can control the time the banana to the market, the freshness, then I think this can overcome all the problem of for the smallholder, they can get the value for the banana.
So, Razwan, the last one. So, last but not least, so Agri-More. Will Agri-More go into bananas?
Well, right now, yes, definitely. So we are looking for opportunities like what Mr. Amir mentioned just now. It's about being creative and creating more downstream products. So I think that's definitely an angle for banana. People all around the world now is looking for superfoods. So what's stopping banana to become superfood? So so therein lies that opportunity, therein lies that, but also that gap in R&D that we need to address. So we need to do a lot more in coming up with downstream product. We need to spend in R&D. So I guess this is where Aerodyne, could extend it's our hand being the new kid on the block as well. So we want to be more participative. We want to be more active. We want to come up, we want to spearhead products, we want to spearhead technology. So I think in so many ways, we want to offer this to the community of researchers, a community of academicians to work with Aerodyne, to come up with, let's be creative and let's, develop more and do more with our banana, for the world.
on that note, I think we're very fortunate today that the panelists are all young and all with energetic young young panelists, and I think I'm excited. I think there is Banana has hope, and Banana can create a unicorn. And creating unicorn means you are creating jobs, you're creating you're contributing to GDP. Yeah, so I think on that note, I would like to thank all the panelists for your very interesting discussion, and I hope this has inspired the rest of the Banana community, if not here and those not in the meeting as well, to work together and make a paradigm shift, and change the business and move forward and not stick to the old my generation. The 60th generation is like now we have to move to something that's new. And I think if we move into something that's new, I think Banana can actually prosper. With that, thank you very much, panelists.
Thank
and
you.
the audience.
Thank you.
So over to the MC. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.